Sentinels lost another game, this time to 100 Thieves, and of course, that means that all of the Sen Doomers are coming out in force. But I'm here to tell those Doomers that they're stupid. Because here's the thing, there's a couple things going on here. Yes, Sentinels lost to 100 Thieves, but if you go in the history of Sen versus 100 Thieves, one thing you might not know is that this was a scheduled loss for Sen. Sen win 4 games and then they lose to 100 Thieves. They then win 4 games and lose to 100 Thieves. They then win 4 games and they lose to 100 Thieves. This was a scheduled Sentinels loss to 100 Thieves. But seriously, there are some actual positive signs for Sentinels. And you might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about, TMV? They lost 2-0 to 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves, it's over, right? But it's not over, because you see, Sentinels played another game on Split during kickoff as well, and it was this one, against Furia. And let me just tell you right now, that one against Furia was a lot worse than the one that you just saw against 100 Thieves. And to prove that, I'm just going to remind you of this round against Furia that they played, where they're going to waylay recall and not move anywhere. And then if we play this a bit faster, you're going to see they're going to go for a Yoru ult round, and the Yoru is going to end up on site completely alone. And this was the level of this game, okay? It was quite low, right? So here goes our Yoru, and you're going to see Redux is going to end up on site alone, dies. None of the rest of the team enter the site with him. It's atrocious.
Into the site.
Careful here.
One spotted out, but Furia are waiting. A couple of players ready to jump on in, and they're already here. Art has caught the back, and the stall on the choke points has always been there from Furia.
So that was Sentinels with a double duelist comp with a Yoru ult, their execs against Furia. It was not very good. But let's come to this 100 Thieves game, where from the very, very off, you can see that they have improved their execs.
But let's see if Sen can run it back now on this attack side. This is their map pick.
Do they have remotely the same levels of swagger? When fighting for this early map control, it's really hard against this Sentinel setup. Arsenal quickly has to respond. Where the heck did they come from? Narrate gets across.
So this is a very simple round from Sentinels, right? It is simply, we are going B. Everyone's here. We're just going B, pistol round. Nothing strange about that. But this looks infinitely better than what you just saw, right? This is how you play a double duelist. And again, this is playing against a Sage. Not easy on the attack side to play against this Sage, right? And to get your timings right and all of that. But hey, look, we got Redux TPing back site. We got the Waylay coming in now, right? Like if you're these 100 Thieves players, like if you're back here and you're bang, right? Look at this. 2 people are aiming at you from 2 completely different directions. Not very easy. They kill bang. They get the first kill on the site, they kill bang. Now they're looking at Asna. Okay, Asna managed to kill Narrate, but by then you've got Redux to trade. If Redux isn't available to trade, these guys will be able to trade. Like all of this, the timing, the spacing was a lot better than they were previously. You know, I'm not going to say it's maybe it's not perfect, right? Maybe there are small things you could do here that would be a little bit better, but it was better. And now they're in a situation 4v2, Spike going down. This is a much better spot than they were really ever in that Furia game. And this is what I want to point out overall, because if you listen to the Sen fans or read what the Sen fans are saying about, you know, this loss to 100 Thieves, they're talking about, you know, removing multiple players, firing Kaplan, all of that. But for me, that's a very strange argument to make, because from the first game that they played on Split to this game, there was a real big improvement in terms of some of the things that you're actually seeing. And really, some of the proof of that is in the scoreline as well, because this half started down 8-4 for Sen. Yeah, the defense side didn't go great, and maybe you could say, oh, isn't that a problem, TMV? Well, maybe, but 100 Thieves are also, like, quite a good team, right? Like, they will win rounds against you. They are a good team, and for me, the fact that Sentinels, who had a disastrous split attack side against Furia, were able to take this to OT, right? Despite the fact that, as we'll see in a second, they're about to lose this second round against the Eco. That to me was somewhat impressive, because it showed that in the gun rounds, they were actually quite good. But let's talk about that second round. So here it is. It's round 14. They're against a full Eco here for 100 Thieves, you know, who just all have classics. So there's really, you know, no excuse to lose this round. You should be winning these kind of rounds quite often. If we come into this round and take a look at some of the problems Sen have got. So they're going for this 1-3-1. Going for this 1-3-1 against an Eco, which shouldn't need to do anything too complex. I would say you don't need to even really take the risk of, like, you know, running a little 1-3-1, or, you know, because, like, if there's multiple people stacked up here, you're in some trouble, right? Like, things are more likely to go wrong, as you will see that they do right here.
Res ASAP as Sen activate this split into B. Redux slow to clear out. And will attack go through heaven. Cortez picks up Timotino over on the flank as well. Oh, good right timing. Austin is fearless on this round. Why not? We got a classic.
Okay.
Oh my god. There's no way.
Redux with the ghost is just...
The reason that I'm bringing up that kind of call and going for kind of a 1-3-1 split here is the problems that you can run into on this round. The danger of this round is that you get isolated and you get separated, which are much more likely to have happen to you if you're in this kind of situation, right? Now, I've got no problem with what they're doing over here with Cortezia, right? He's only got a ghost. Let him explore this side of the map, right? If you run into a big stack here on B and there's like 5 people here and he can just walk onto A and give you the site, great. If he walks up here and he dies, he's only given him a ghost. It's not the end of the world. You'll still probably win the round. But the problem that you run into when you go for these kind of splits and they're in a kind of 1-3-1 is that you do end up, you know, separated as they do here, because they're going to smoke this off. They're going to prowl the site. They actually get this kill on A first. But now you've got John QT. He's watching behind, right? So he's watching this. Your duelist is now trying to entry the site, of course, and that leaves this guy running to the site on his own. So Asuna just takes the timing here. You know, he finds the right timing to do this. But like right now, we've got one guy on his own with no one covering his back because we've decided to take, you know, this particular round where we need to have someone watch our back. And then, you know, we've got one player in B main checking to see if B main's clear. And, you know, one player's over towards A as a cancel option. Like, we've just split ourselves up. At this point in time, we are very split up. Anyone in here is going to get this kill. Potential maybe for some people on the site to isolate this fight as well. Anyone B main can isolate this. In A, they can isolate this. And here as well, they can isolate this fight. So you've got a lot of solo fights. And again, you would still hope that the guns will get you out of that scenario. But it is just a bit more risky, right? This is the risk that you run when you do these kind of rounds. And really, that is the way that you tend to lose these kind of rounds, right? Like, you know, someone dies, they pick up a gun, and you end up, you know, kind of all going wrong. Because the thing is, like, again, you might be like, well, what happened over here with Cortezi? Well, he just dies to another player on A, which, again, he's got this kill on A. It's completely within his rights to kind of think, like, okay, I'll keep exploring up towards A, and maybe we'll cancel. That's the thing. They didn't give themselves really the time to cancel, right? When Timotino dies here to Cortezi on A, you know, you might even say, like, freeze, right? Don't come to the site. Maybe it's too late. They've already smoked this off. Maybe they've already decided this. But ideally, you would say just freeze. Let Cortezia see if he can walk up on A, you know, and just win the round on A, right? But instead, maybe they've already made that call. They're going in. The timing's all wrong for them, and they end up losing the round. So yes, not everything was perfect. But again, I'm going to now show you some rounds where if you compare this to the Furia game, it's night and day. Right, let's start with round 16. So this is the first full gun round. It's 10-5 to 100 Thieves. They managed to get this to OT, right? This was a successful attack side. I'm going to just say it now. I hate this play. Defense side split, I hate this play, man. I hate the no util start of round walk down. You can do this in the mid round, and I think it's fine. You can do it with util sometimes, or big ults or whatever, and sometimes it's okay. I hate this like contact walk down, because the thing is, what often happens is you will find one guy here who's maybe in Caillou's position who will just jiggle peek, find you, they'll go A, they'll get the spike down, they'll probably win the round. Or you'll get this where there's multiple people here, they're holding for you, they're ready for this at the start of the round, and you die, right? Like, doing it just off the rip, for me, I just don't personally love that call, because I feel like I've seen that exact kill happen about 1 billion times on split, where people try this in the first, you know, 5-10 seconds of a round. Like, if you just wait 20 seconds and be willing to take that risk, then they might start moving and you might actually catch them out. But from there, anyway, Sent, they're going to actually end up coming back towards the A side here, right? So they make the call. They're in their little 1-3-1. Cool. They're going to make the call to come back here towards A. Now, the Sage wall is actually up. And again, you know, the Sage does provide you with some difficulties here. Right, it has done for 100 Thieves. We've seen that on multiple maps. If you watched any 100 Thieves game, this Sage does cause some problems. But they come up with a good plan here, right? They don't just, like, wait out this wall. This was something that they did have problems with, and I would say to them, Sentinels, like, do what you did in this round more, where you do group up. If you group up and you see this wall, don't wait for it to go down, because that's when 100 Thieves start rotating this way, because they think maybe you just waited for the wall. Break it. Once you've all got here, just break it, because the map will end up looking like this, where 100 Thieves are guessing it's the other side because this wall is still up. And if you're fast off breaking the wall, you can then, you know, attack into what is probably the weaker side of the map, which they will here. But then again, just take a look at what they do here with the Euro ult. We saw a Euro ult round at the start of this against Furia. It was terrible. This one is much better.
He's now realized that's not the case. At least he had some early warning. Dimensional Drift, though, is going to allow Redux to spot out a very clear lack of defenders on the site.
Arsenal fully committed. The rotates need to get here ASAP to help, but that's a good flashback site to remove.
Okay, so there you go. A better round from Sentinels with their ults. Now, there are still some problems here, and we are going to talk about those problems as well for Sen. This is better than it was against Furia, but it still can be improved by quite a lot, I would say. Right, so we're getting better. You know, this round went well. We won the round. You know, we won it quite cleanly, so that's good. We like that. It's getting better, but it can still get a lot better than this, right? And I will show you how it can get a lot better than this as well. Because when we take a look at Narrate here, hey, he actually entered onto the site with a Euro ult. That's already a massive improvement, right? Just the fact that he's here, that's already good. We like that. However, he does also make a mistake in the fact that he doesn't throw his saturate. And the simple truth for Narrate here is he must throw this saturate, right? Your job as the waylay here is to throw the saturate. If this guy is good enough to flick up into the sky and one-tap you straight away before you can get it off, fair play, good shot. You move on. It's not your fault, right? What you cannot do, really, is recall before you've even thrown the saturate. Because then this guy isn't affected by util. Yes, his crosshair is off, but if you saturate him, it's always a free kill. You know, he's not going to be... If you saturate him, he's not going to be able to aim from here to back to where Redux is ever, right? And he doesn't, and so that's a big problem. Because right now, you see Asuna, he's actually fine. They get a bit lucky, they get an assist from 100 Thieves here. Vor actually flashes into the sky, and that actually blinds Asuna and gives them that kill. Then we've actually got other people in on the site here, and you know, Caillou is able to get that kill, and Redux is able to kill Bang as well. Now, what I would say as well, though, is another problem, and again, this is slightly better than it was last time, but it still can be better. This is after Narrate is recalling. We need, like, you've turned that flash. Okay, John, I'm guessing, is getting full flashed here. You know, but look at where we are now. This could still go wrong. Even though this is a 5v3, if Vora loses this fight, right, and Bang actually ends up TPing into elbow straight into Redux. But, you know, if he doesn't do that, which it does seem like a bit of a crazy play there from Bang, you know, if they win that fight and Vora and Caillou dies here, you know, maybe there is still some trouble in this round and the spikes dropped on the site and they need to do something. So I would still like to see, you know, a world where these other players are maybe a little bit further forward and here on the site, but it's better than it was against Furia. But to see a true round that is actually, you know, much better, let's take a look at round number 19 here to close this thing out, which again is going to show that these ult rounds are improved, right? So we actually get another team flash there from Vora, but they're going to come over towards A, right? They're going to prowler off the op just here. Timotino's going to have to retreat. So there he goes. He has to go backwards. And now we know we've got him. We're going to fade ult in onto the side just here. We're going to waylay ult as well. We're going to TP in into the backside. We're going to kill this guy. It's going to be a really, really nice little exec from Sen.
Again, Nightfall. Catch on, conversion pass. They're going to throw everything out this round. Sentinels are betting the house on it.
So there you go. A big ult round, and everything about this is good. Right, yeah, we're using multiple ults, but again, these were the rounds that were not going that well against Furia anyway, right? So we get the Fade ult coming in, we get the Waylay coming in, the timing of this is all good, right? So if you look at where, you know, this ult has just hit him, the other ult is about to hit him, you've got the Yoru TP coming into this corner, we understand, like, where are people likely to end up after that, what Yoru TP should we do for that? This is the perfect TP. We're going to get Narrate actually entering in onto the site as the second player in, obviously he's had to ult, so that somewhat requires that. So there's Narrate, he's coming in onto the site, all is well, this guy is deaf, he can't hear the Euro TP, and he's saturated as well with an op, TP deep into the site. This is good, right? That is a good Valorant round, and yeah, they used multiple ults to get it, but again, these were not the rounds that were going well. Now, and from here, they're going to manage to close that. This again is a bit aggressive from Bang, but again, Sentinels are there to be able to actually close this out.
For Bang is just to get into position. Cortez is close though and shuts him down.
Spike planted.
Sentinels have spent extensively here in round number 19, but it looks like it may well have been enough.
I mean, yeah, they've got one flash to try to get back in and use it. They're through screens right now.
Cryo, okay, gets fortunate there. Slow warp though is in his way. Arsenal's trying to bide his time. Okay.
So, for Sentinels, is it perfect? Is it even great? No. But is it improved? Yes. From that Furia game to what we saw in this video, they have improved. It did get better. Yeah, that was perhaps a low bar that they set in that Furia game. But in general, that is what you want to see. Yeah, okay, they didn't win, but 100 Thieves are actually a pretty decent team this year. Right? So if they can improve and if they can continue to improve, then hopefully they'll be good.